Hey everyone, this is Razador's Pokemon Shenanigans, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Invasive Species. Torchic did fairly well, considering it's a first form fire type in Kanto, so how will Charmander fare in the region of water? Compared to Torchic, our offensive stats are a bit lower. We have slightly less health, but on the flip side, we are a lot faster. 65 base speed isn't anything amazing, but it's good enough to where speed won't be much of an issue, and we definitely want to be fast as a first form fire type in Hoenn. And speaking of fire, let's check out our level up moves. Flamethrower at level 31 is fantastic, but honestly, it's the only move on here I'm really interested in. Slash is okay, but we'll be able to learn much better physical moves via TM. If we got Dragon Rage early, it'd be nice, but at level 43, it's pretty useless. As for our TMs, we have some pretty solid stuff on here. Return, Secret Power is always useful, Brick Break, Iron Tail if you don't mind the 1-4 chance to miss. And you know what makes these moves even better? Charmander not only has an awesome array of egg moves to choose from, but among them is Belly Drum. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Now, if you're new here and are confused by that, just know that in this series we include an egg move for each of our Pokemon we run with. Why? Because I thought it'd be fun to add in, and it's part of our rules. The full set of rules is in the description, but to sum it up, we get one egg move, we have max IVs, I choose the hidden power, and if the Pokemon has more than one ability, I'll pick the better one. This is for the purposes of optimization and to try and live up to the real invasive species term. Oh, and if you're wondering why I named our Charmander Jake, that's the name of the swell lad who designs my Pokemon thumbnails, so I figured it'd be cool to name one of our starters after him. Now, against Roxanne, our egg move isn't going to be helping us very much, as in at all. A Belly Drum will max out our attack at the expense of half of our health. Not really a winning strategy against a Geodude and a Nose Pass, especially as a fire type, as we are weak to rock moves, and unlike Brock, Roxanne's team has rock moves, more than one too. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm level 21 already, well, Zigzagoon has Pickup, and Pickup in Ruby Sapphire is insanely broken. Pretty much the second that you grab a Zigzagoon, and we have 5 to help us out here, those are allowed as well, in addition to the other basic standard rules, like one Pokemon in battle, HM Pokemon you need for progress, and I do allow Pickup. If we're trying to go fast, well, Ruby Sapphire's pickup system with rare candies being available at the start of the game is a pretty solid way to make that go quickly. At the very least, it can shave down some time for us. And against Roxanne here, basically the strat is hope that Rock Tomb and Rock Throw miss, burn both of her Pokemon, have her use the potions on the Geodude, because it has much lower special defense despite the fact it resists Ember. And she also loves wasting time with stuff like Hardened and Defense Curl while we're using a special attack. A combination of all those things helps us squeak out a victory against Roxanne. But I think from here things are going to get a little bit better. Just a little bit. So as we make our way to Dewford, we're going to go ahead and fight Brawly here. Neither of us really have a type advantage against each other, but well, we have Belly Drum. I want to test it out, but we're not going to test it out against Machop because Machop has stuff like Karate Chop, which can crit you, and Seismic Toss, which will deal 17 damage, as Machop is level 17. Now, we're going to battle Machop with Ember, and thankfully he goes for Bulk Up, which is a waste of time, because Ember, again, targets special defense. As Makuhita comes out, we'll go for Belly Drum. Hopefully he doesn't go for Sand Attack. He goes for Bulk Up. Perfect. Thanks to Bulk Up, Scratch isn't a one-shot. He just goes for Knockoff, dealing all of 2 damage. Well, that's cool. Brawly can heal all he wants, but with the monstrous damage Scratch is dealing, well, there's something I never thought I'd say. We take him down, lickety-split. And now, before we make our way to Mauville City, the 3rd gym, we do have to battle our rival again. It's a lot harder this time around because he'll have Marsh Stomp, and we have to set a Belly Drum on a Pokemon who knows Stun Spore. But before that, I figure let's just test out Scratch's damage against Marsh Stomp. I mean, it's not going to be anything great, but I just want an idea of how much we'll deal with Belly Drum. I decide to be very bold after Ember takes out Shrimp. I'm like, okay, Mudshot can miss, so let's try Belly Drum. No, it didn't miss. I mean, we're probably going to need a Mudshot miss anyway, but I guess we'll find out. And thanks to our Sherry Berry, no need for us to worry about Stun Spore. Okay, so with Belly Drum, how much damage does Scratch do to Marsh Stomp? Oh man, you know what? I can't even be disappointed by that, because the idea that Scratch can one-shot anything without critting something super low-leveled is just really funny to me. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be farming for a Mudshot in this, so that's going to take a while. Or not. Thanks, game. I guess RNGesus Hoenn was feeling really generous today. And we win. I mean, he still has Numel, but if we're dealing that much damage to Marshtomp, yeah, there's no way Numel is surviving a single mighty scratch. Now, we're going to make a beeline straight for Watson. And, of course, we're going to battle the trainers in his gym. That's something I like to do, not just in this series, but unless I'm doing something like a minimum battles, which I usually don't. If the trainers are in gyms, I'll battle them, because once you defeat the leader, you can never fight them, so it's best to get the experience points if you think you need them, and we're playing as a Charmander, so we definitely need them. Now, as Magnemite comes out, I go for Belly Drum, and you might be wondering why I do that. Well, we have a Sherry Berry for Thunder Wave, that's no problem, and we're going to one-shot Magnemite with Ember. I wanted max attack power for Voltorb, because I don't want that thing paralyzing us with Spark or using Self-Destruct. Now, I could just go get Flamethrower and Steamroll this fight, but I wanted to try with Ember, and if not for that Parahax there, 25% chance to lose our turn, we would have won, so we'll go ahead and just try this again. We don't need Flamethrower for this fight. And you're going to see before you, the strategy works out just fine. We just have to not lose our turn to Paralysis, and what's really cool is that it doesn't really matter, but Magneton does bring us into Blaze range, so that removes any potential damage ranges we might be contending with. Okay, so en route to Maxie, we got the TM for Secret Power from that random guy in front of a tree. Much stronger than Scratch, so that's going to benefit enormously from Belly Drum. Plus, Secret Power has cool secondary effects, like in this fight against Maxie here, it can cause confusion. Unfortunately, we do get hit by Sand Attack as we're setting up, but we don't miss against Mightyena, so at least that goes down. And you know, it's kind of funny, when I was deciding on our egg move, I was considering Swords Dance because I'm like, well, Belly Drum's awesome because it maxes out your attack at the cost of half your health. But Charmander being very frail, Swords Dance might be the safer play. So far, so good. We're going to eventually run out of gas, but we're going full speed ahead right now. For Flannery, it's just a matter of whether or not we can survive her Torkoal, because, I mean, she has 2 Slug when you set up Belly Drum, and yeah, obviously they're not going to be a problem. Oh, wait, we got poisoned. This actually might be a problem. Well, that poison's going to be chipping us down real low. We're not going to have a whole lot of health for Torkoal. Not that we had much health to begin with because of Belly Drum. So, let's hope we can one-shot it. Well, we don't. Torkoal easily finishes us off, but as long as we don't get poisoned, I think we should be able to tank a hit from Body Slam, barring we don't get crit. Hopefully not paralyzed either. Okay, yeah, great. Slugma, just get those out of here. We're here for Torkoal. Let's go. No crit from us, moment of truth here. Beautiful. And yes, I could have taught Dig, but I don't like teaching Dig. It's only 60 base power in Gen 3, and I'd rather have that on one of my HM users because I really like having it as a field move. It saves time, and I don't have to buy escape ropes. Anyway, thanks to the Chesto Berry, Slacking goes down. We one-shot Vigoroth, no problem. Well, we have about half of our health left, and surprisingly, Slacking 2 doesn't go for Facade, it goes for Focus Punch. I think that Facade would be able to knock us out, but, well, Norman is the all-knowing gym leader, not me. So as we prepare for Winona, I'm thinking about going back for Return, but I don't want to backtrack to Full Arbor, so we're just going to press forward and do it with Secret Power, and Flamethrower for Skarmory. Now, you can also find this in my description, but another thing about this series, why I don't run in Emerald, why did I pick Ruby? Well, the Psychic Gem 4v1 is going to really halt the momentum of just about every Kantomon we run in this series. It would be very unfair because we are trying to compare Pokemon here. Ruby's also a much shorter game. It's about the same length as Fire Red. The thing about Ruby, though, is that there are no move tutors, so Kantomons running through here aren't going to have that benefit. At the same time, however, they also have access to Ruby Sapphire pickup. I actually think that's a way better trade-off, because move tutors are effectively, mechanically speaking, a TM, just it's a person and not an item. They teach you a move one time only. TMs are single use only in Generation 3. And hey, 302 at Winona. We're about keeping pace with Bulbasaur here. Now, as we exchange Belly Drum and Double Team, Swellow's going to hit us with Aerial Ace. That's actually very good because we're now in Blaze range. And yeah, we hit Swellow, thankfully. We can't tank another Aerial Ace. Next up is Pelipper, but we're faster. One Secret Power, it goes down. Next up is Altaria. Go for Secret Power and, uh-oh. Oh, we don't one-shot it with Secret Power. Yeah, Return would have, but nah, we're gonna grind this out because Secret Power can paralyze. It's basically weaker Body Slam in gym battles. Doesn't even look like it's a range on Altaria either. Yeah, we're gonna need a Paralysis for this. And we'll need a Citrus Berry because more health is always nice. Anyway, after a couple double teams, Swellow goes down. And Pelipper. Ah, it goes for Dragon Dance. Interesting. Can it really not one-shot us with Earthquake? Well, it doesn't matter now. It's paralyzed, it goes down, and all that's left is Skarmory, but we have Flamethrower, so yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so now we're going to go get Return. Seeker Power was really awesome in this run, but it is starting to run out of gas here. And with Return, a much stronger move, base 102 power because our friendship is undoubtedly maxed out. But I will miss that secondary effect. And while we're running errands, I figure it might as well go ahead and buy our hidden power as well. We haven't used that yet in this run. Hard to say what the best option for Charmander for hidden power would be. He could benefit from quite a few of them. But since we're using belly drum strats, we're going to want something physical. And I gotta say, after that Trico run and how hard that was for the second half of the game, especially the Agatha fight in the Elite Four, this run is such a breath of fresh air. But it's also showing the limitations of Charmander with belly drum. At the end of the day, it is still a first form starter. Alright, so Tate and Liza time. Let's do this fight real quick. And turn 1 starts off the absolute best way it could. We go for belly drum. Solrock goes for Sunny Day. We don't really care about that. And Lunatone goes for Calm Mind. That is perfect. Oh, and we're faster than they are, too. Although Solrock will probably finish us off. And yeah, Hidden Power is super effective against Lunatone. And pardon me while I go through the text box of Zigzagoon's level up. That wasn't intentional. I thought they would go for it straight away. Well, apparently Solrock thought that was a good idea, too, because it's not like we have evasion modifiers or anything. I assumed Gen 3's AI would be smarter than this. I mean, Gen 3 AI is definitely flawed, but I didn't think it was attack a Pokemon that it knows it can't hit bad. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm going to blame Tate and Liza for that one. If they just battled me 1v2, they wouldn't have suffered that embarrassing loss. So as we make our way to the second and final Maxi fight, we can go and clock in our time here. Still under 4 hours. We are doing really awesome as Charmander. I gotta say, having Belly Drum as an egg move is pretty great. Turn 1, we go for Belly Drum. Mightyena lowers our speed with Scary Face, and thankfully it misses with Swagger. With maxed out attack, we gain no benefit from that. Camerupt goes down, Crobat slips in a wing attack, almost takes us out, but almost isn't enough. That's another flaw in our strategy here, relying on Belly Drum solely, is that if we get hit by Confuse Ray, or if we're confused in any other way, yeah, we're definitely going to take ourselves out between half health and max attack and our low defense. Why do I bring that up? Well, I'm going to reset and restore power points real quick because I forgot to do that before fighting Wallace. Well, I bring that up because Love Disc, whom he leads off with, does have Sweet Kiss, and although we are faster, we can set up safely. He does connect with it. It does have 75% accuracy. And we hit ourselves in confusion, just doing Wallace's job for him. So it's tempting to be reckless with this move, but you really can't be. Thankfully, Love Disc went for a track that time, so now we should sweep. Hi, Cilio. Bye, Cilio. Whiscash is up next, but doesn't matter. It is a bit bulkier, but it still goes down to Return. Next up is Old School Internet, and it fades away like a distant memory. And my low-tick, while it has awesome special defense, physical defense, not so much. Down it goes. And next up is Wally, but I don't think he really needs to even be discussed because, well, we've been winning most of these fights with Belly Drum and a physical attack, and we have Flamethrower for Magneton, so we're going to be alright here. Yeah, definitely glad I decided to go with Belly Drum over Swords Dance. Swords Dance is much safer, mind you. But since we're going for full-on optimization here in Invasive Species, and how much Charmander has been a bulldozer, really living up to the definition of that term, isn't he? And I figure we'll run a couple of last-minute errands before we head on and battle the Elite Four at Evergrande City. Let's go ahead and check our time, shall we? We clock in at, holy crap, 4 hours, 39 minutes? Go Charmander! Oh, Charmander fans be loving this run. And now, Mudyena's Intimidate does not matter because we can use Belly Drum to offset that attack drop. Not loving Sand Attack, but we'll deal with it. Thankfully, we don't miss Mightyena. And we don't miss Sharpedo. That's good because that thing has Surf. It would have definitely finished us off. Against Cacturne, unfortunately, we do miss Flamethrower, and it hits us with Cotton Spore. As our speed is dropped, it's now faster. Hits us pretty hard with Feint Attack, and yeah, gonna reset there because we can't win the fight. But no problem, we'll go and just try again, and we get hit by Sand Attack again by Mightyena. It's kind of annoying. Sharpedo's down. This time we don't miss Cacturne. Absol goes down. We miss Shift Tree a couple times thanks to Double Team, but one Flamethrower easily takes it out. Sydney was mildly annoying, but Phoebe's the one I'm actually really worried about. We don't have a great answer for anything on her team, but still, we should deal great damage regardless. So, round 1 against Phoebe, let's go. There's Belly Drum, we get hit by Shadow Punch. Ooh, and we get brought into Blaze range. Ooh. Well, I got greedy there, and it didn't deal nearly as much as I would have liked. And while we're at it, might as well test out Hidden Power's damage against the second Dusclops here. It actually does a bit more than Blaze Flamethrower, surprisingly. But then again, it has equally good special and physical defense, so maybe that's not all that surprising. Now, on our next try here, check this out, because this blew my mind. Okay, we're doing great damage with Hidden Power. Have you guessed which one it is yet? And as she heals, she inexplicably changes over to the second Dusclops. And I was like, why did you do that? You just threw the fight, bro. And I mean, I know the second Dusclops has Earthquake and all, but if we're dealing half damage after you swap in, it's kind of a moot point, isn't it? Oh well, easy win for us. Ain't gonna say no to that. Now, as we battle Glacia and get ready to fight her, we're gonna go ahead and make a slight adjustment to our moveset here. We're gonna get rid of Flamethrower, believe it or not. You might be thinking, well, why? It's gonna be great against Glalie. True. However, you know what's even better? Belly Drum Brick Break, and that's good against the entire team. And this will work because the first Glalie likes to either go for Light Screen or Hail on turn 1. If it goes for Hail, doesn't matter because we can't survive all 5 turns of it. So we're gonna go for Belly Drum. Yeah, with 67, we should survive Hail. Oh, it does go for a Hail. Alright. Okay, yeah, we got this. Okay, Brick Break one-shots Glalie. Next up is Cilio. It's part Ice type, so yeah, Brick Break does the job just fine. Out comes the second Cilio, but it suffers the exact same fate. Even the bulky Walrein is no match for a Belly Drum-powered Brick Break. Get out of here. And if we were able to one-shot Walrein, then yeah, Glalie has absolutely no chance against us. Okay, so next up is Drake. This is probably going to be pretty hard. He has a lot of fast Pokemon on his team, which includes a Salamence. And he leads off with Shelgon, who likes Rock Tomb on turn 1. That lowers your speed by 1 stage. Our speed's okay, but we definitely don't want our speed being dropped here. And as if the game heard me, as we set up Belly Drum, Shelgon does in fact miss Rock Tomb, and our Citrus Berry kicks in too, bringing us up to 98 health. So we'll go ahead and go for Return. Obviously, Shelgon is a one-shot. Next up's Flagon. It. Oh, it's faster. Oh, it's going for Dig. And we get taken out very easily. Not surprised by that. Well, time to power up with some rare candies here. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you our Hidden Power, because we are going to use it against Steven. It's Hidden Power Steel, and while we do have Iron Tail, I'm just not a fan of that 75 accuracy. But after that Phoebe battle, I'm thinking that, yeah, it would have been better to just take Ghost-type Hidden Power and then just suck up the 75 accuracy. But hey, now I know for Charmeleon's run. And thankfully for us, it doesn't take very long for us to get another Rock Tomb missed by Shelgon, though I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it that fast. Very lucky. Okay, we know we can one-shot Shelgon. Are we faster than Flygon now? We are, so if one goes down, down goes the second one. Out comes Altaria, but it's a one-shot. And even with Intimidate's attack drop, Salamence no match for +5 return. Okay, so we're going to need Flamethrower back on our roster here, and I was able to get that from the Mobile City Casino. There's also a Heart Scale west of Petalburg that you can grab. But anyway, we're going to say goodbye to Return. We don't need it for this fight. It would only really be useful against Claydol, and even then, we can probably take it out with Blaze Flamethrower. Wow, still under 5 hours. Can we clutch a sub 5 hours against Steven? Now, we can't just Belly Drum and YOLO our way to victory here. What we actually need to have happen is for Skarmory to hit us with Aerial Ace, not crit us after Belly Drum. That way we get access to Blaze for the entirety of the battle. Unfortunately, that does not happen, but fortunately we do have a Pecha Berry to cure Toxic, and Flamethrower will still one-shot Skarmory. And Metagross, well, that was a critical hit. I don't know if we would have one-shot without that crit. Anyway. Oh, Hidden Power Steel was almost a one-shot, but almost isn't good enough. And yeah, you'll see in this sped-up failed attempt here, we actually did need that crit on Metagross, so we do need Blaze to take it out in one shot. So we go for Belly Drum, it goes for Spikes. I'm like, you know what? Let's go for Brick Break. It won't one-shot unless we crit, and there's Aerial Ace. Okay, perfect. And against Metagross, you can see, yeah, no damage ranges to worry about there. 50% increased damage to Flamethrower and same type, yeah, get out of here. Claydol goes down to a critical Blaze Flamethrower. Aggron has great physical defense, but +6 Brick Break 4 times weak to it. Yeah, it's not standing up to that. Cradilly is part Rock type, so Brick Break takes it out. And due to Armaldo being part Rock type, Hidden type Steel does one-shot it. That might have looked easy, but that was super high risk, high reward, and I'd say we came out on top. Wow, Charmander was phenomenal. I mean, having Belly Drum as an egg move, oh boy. Now again, I did mess up on our hidden power. Should have gone with Ghost type. That would have made Tate and Liza equally easy. And that would have given us a great tool for Phoebe as well as Clay Doll. And for Steel type moves, we had Iron Tail. So yeah, we're just going to suck up that 75% accuracy on Charmeleon when we run it. That's not for a while, but hey, it's always good to plan ahead. So at level 67 and 4 hours and 55 minutes, yes, sub 5 hours. Charmander, very easy to rank. The time was S tier, that's phenomenal. And our level is B tier, so yeah, Charmander nice and snug in A tier. Next up's Mudkip and Kanto. I'll see you there. Later.